He's held a top 10 spot on Saturday mornings for over 20 years. He's known to movie stars and superheroes alike. He's been through various makeovers, and even had his own movie series. Not bad for a Great Dane that doesn't look a day over 12. In dog years, that is. The ever-popular, ever-hungry, today, Scooby's the star of our drawing lesson. And the first thing I'd like you to do for our pal Scooby Doo is a nice light rectangle going up and down our paper. Now you notice I'm leaving that bottom part empty. The next thing I'd like you to do, about 1/4 of the way down, we're going to do a little nice light line right about here. And you don't want to make the line go too far out at all, because the next thing I'd like you to do is we're going to make a diamond, or in this case a pentagon, a 5-sided diamond. We're going to start right here, just a little bit inside of that corner right there, and we're going to make that line meet that point right there. Same thing on this side, go a little bit inside of that corner on the right and meet that line, the end of that line right there. Because then what I'd like you to do is go a little bit further down your paper, because what we're going to do is make this line and this line meet this point. Now we see our 5-sided shape here. Now that we have the main frame of his head, the next thing I'd like you to do is give Scooby his nose. Trace this line here, not very big, not very wide, but just enough to give a little bit of definition. Then you're going to kind of match these two lines. Remember, nice and soft, to give him an upside down triangle where the point goes to the bottom. And then you can even curve that line up a bit. And once we are done with that, why don't you go ahead and darken that nose in. Because the next thing I'd like you to do is give him 2 little letter U's. One will be here and one will be there. These will be kind of the dimples for his mouth, but they'll be on an angle, each of them. We'll just give him a little tiny dimple right here, leaning to the right, and the other one leaning to the left. Because what we're going to do next, there's no other way to say this, but we're going to make a big butt. That line for that starts here and it goes outside of this line. Goes out, make a curve, and then it starts to go in, because what you want to do is when you go in, you want to go back up through that point and back up to the nose, just like this. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. Go outside of that line a little bit, go back in, meet back up. Now for his eyes, I'd like you to do, very lightly, capital letter D. It's kind of close to the center, not exactly on the center line, but kind of close to it. You can be touching that nose too, because the next thing is going to be an O that got sat on. Because Scooby's eyes, if you've ever noticed, are what you would call asymmetrical. That basically is a geometric term that means the side that's on the left doesn't exactly match the side that's on the right. So you can curve that letter D out if you like, just enough to make it look more like a cartoon eye. And of course, so he won't look like a zombie, give him 2 pupils. One little circle here, one little circle there. And you can go ahead and darken in those pupils. And the next thing I'd like you to do is give him his very distinctive eyebrows, which are 2 rectangles. One will be here at an angle, and it will kind of go above that line right there, while the other one does the same thing going the opposite way, but a little lower. And you can darken those rectangles in. Now let's go ahead and curve Scooby's head just a little. And then I'd like you to give him another letter D right about here. When you do the curve first, and when you go down, halfway there, you're going to make a bump and then go down the rest of the way. Same thing on this side. And inside of those ears is a very skinny letter D. One going the right way, one going the opposite way. Now we can erase those corners. And we can even erase everything inside. All those stray lines, we can now erase all of those inside the pentagon. And let's go ahead and curve those lines right there for Scooby's head. Now we're almost there. Scooby has to have a mouth to open, so the first thing we're going to do is a little letter U right here. It doesn't quite meet the top of his lip right here. And we're going to do the same thing on this side for his chin. And let's give him 2 little whiskers. Now, as I said, at the bottom you'll notice I left this open. That's because he needs a collar. A ring around, but it's going to be a wide oval. So it's going to start back here and then go around here. Nice wide curve, and then curve back into that neck. Stop right there because we're going to do another curve that matches this one, but it's not going to go around. It's just going to match that bottom part. Not going to go very far either. Give him just enough space to give him a nice thick collar, so we can go ahead and close those in with a line here and a line there. And then Scooby needs his dog tag, which is a backwards letter C here, connecting the top and the bottom. And we're going to do the same thing right around it, because then all he needs left is a diamond shape here, there, and then he needs his initials, which are basically a letter S and a letter D. And the letter S in this case looks more or less, as you could say, geometrical, which would be a backwards Z. And the D kind of follows along that like a triangle. And just to go ahead and shape it out, give another line for the diamond around that. And we have Scooby Doo. So, friendly readers and friendly artists, I hope you had a great time with one of my favorite characters, one of the most well-known Great Danes of all time. So happy Halloween, safe trick-or-treating, and as always, I'll see you next time.